What is up, guys? Welcome back. I'm looking a little sparse, aren't I? It's like something's missing, right? That's because we're going to be playing with Guide Beauty today. Guide Beauty is something that I stumbled across on Instagram. I saw Katie Jane Hughes hewing it. She was hewing and hewing it, and Katie Jane Hughes was using it. And it is kind of one of those brands that's aiming to make application easier by... The word is gadget. They're gadgets, you know, but they are also their own formulas of these products. So there is a brow mousse pomade thing. There is a tubing mascara. You have my attention. And there's this thing that is supposed to help you put on your eyeliner better, right? I mean, look at that. Ooh, and it's kind of like, well, it's super flexible, it's rubbery. So I've been watching some of the tutorials online. I've had a chance to try these. I have a lot of thoughts on them, and I wanted to do my best to demonstrate them for you guys today and, you know, complete this look. Everything's very like soft and blurry. We need to like bring the details back, but I did end up going with the entire kit that they offer, like all the products. So I did go with the gadget for putting on the eyeliner, as well as a brown cream eyeliner. I also got a brown medium in their brow pomade, and I think the only color they have is black in their tubing mascara. So I'm gonna move y'all in, and we're going to start by applying these. I'm gonna try and demonstrate some of the techniques that they offer on the website, but then we'll get into the pricing, the claims, the company itself, and obviously always we will close with my final thoughts. So let's go ahead and jump into Guide Beauty. Hi, hello. Yeah, so, okay. The word that is in all of our minds that I avoided saying in the intro is the word gimmick, right? Because when you see something that's supposed to be entirely new in the beauty industry, since everything's been done to death, there's a good chance that it's kind of solving a problem that isn't a problem to begin with, you know? And that's sort of what I've encountered with a lot of these assisting you in putting on your makeup better type products. Now, this does have some immediate differences. One, everything feels really like heavy duty and sturdy. Like this packaging is gorgeous, and it's just like this really pretty, like slightly iridescent matte emerald green kind of shade with these, you know, gold finishings on them and everything. And as I'm using these, I'm going, okay, like, is this unnecessary? Is this really solving something for me? And then my brain immediately goes to, what about differently abled people? You know, my mother has arthritis in her hands. Turns out I need to look at it. It's a creator or someone that she knows developed Parkinson's and couldn't put their makeup on as easily as they had before with as much precision. And so these are very much designed to be ergonomic. So I'm gonna start with the eyeliner because that was the thing that I was the most curious about. Let's tie my hair back here. And that's always something that, I don't know, a friend of mine, my friend Bex, you know, brought to my attention. She's like, every time you see what you think of as like a very silly product on an infomercial or something, like a thing that helps you put your sock on, and they're trying to make it seem like it should be universally appealing to everybody, but you're like, I've never needed help putting my sock on. What it is that those manufacturers made those for people who do have trouble putting their socks on, and then they need to try and make it profitable, and so they, you know, also try and sell them on infomercials and things like that, but they don't explicitly say, like, this is for people who are differently able. So I had to kind of take that with a grain of salt when it came to this. I'm like, you know, gimmicky, maybe, but I'm going to withhold my judgment because it might not be catering specifically to my needs. This is called the Guide Wand, and then this is the Guide Line, and when you order it, you can get either black or brown in the Guide Line, and like I said, the mascara only comes in black, and then the brow pomade comes in 3 shades. So, there are a few different things that they say that you can do with this. There is, you know, obviously just like using it to draw on your eyeliner, and then there are options to either tightline or waterline with just the tip of it. I'm not a waterline girl, it makes my eyes look really small, but the tightlining, that actually sounded really appealing to me. This is a pretty firm formula. It's pretty, you know, I shouldn't say waxy because waxy makes it sound like it's low pigment, but it does have some stiffness to it, which is nice. So I don't know, the way that they do it, it looks really, really neat. like they're doing a tidy job of it in their instructional videos, but for me, I still have to kind of dab it off on my hand. So here we go. Try and put this. And she says to like steady it on your cheek. I don't need to do that, but that's the whole idea, is to have this thing so that it actually like sits on your cheek. That would mess my makeup up, but that's sort of the idea of it, is that this part gives you stability for something like Parkinson's where your hands are shaking, you know? So they call this invisible eyeliner, you know? And I definitely can tell a difference, and that was super, super easy. I like these formulas so far. I do have, you know, some details I'll get into as I go, but like, as I've been using these, they are fairly agreeable. I would love this to be a little bit easier to wash off, because, you know, you go with a tubing mascara, the tubes come off, and it is a very effective tubing mascara, but this still gives me raccoon eyes when I wash it off, so it's like I have to go in and rub my eyes anyway, but that is not that big of a deal. I apologize to anybody who's got like an eye thing. It's like, oh my God, I can't touch my eyes with anything, but like, for whatever reason, I can just do that. Contact lenses, what have you. And I also like that I can get it right there. Kind of, can you see like underneath my eyelid right here? That's where I always want to start my eyeliner, because my eyes are pretty small. And so to be able to get something right in there automatically makes my eyes look bigger. And it's not even so much that I'm lying, who cares if I am, but it's that I'm like using that space where I couldn't get another tool in there. And since it's rubbery, it's actually pretty like gentle. Like when you're touching that on your eyeball, it doesn't feel bad at all. It's not like rough, you know? There's no friction, it's just kind of sliding. It's nice. So that would be their invisible eyeliner technique. And for that, flawless, absolutely flawless. Like, I have never gotten that tidy of a tight line in my life, and I would do that any day because it is invisible. You know what I mean? You put on that and mascara and no one's gonna know that you're wearing eyeliner. It's just gonna look like your roots on your mascara are like fuller, which is, you know, a great thing to do. It's like, I love an illusion, right? But my typical way of applying eyeliner is to just do like a gentle little wing. If you have close set eyes, you kind of wanna go straight out from the corners with your eyeliner to, I mean, if you're me, you know what I mean? And you want your eyes to look like farther apart from each other, then I'll always go like straight out. If I go either too, you know what I mean, upwards with them, or I put it too close in on my eyelid, on my lash line, I don't know why I can't talk, it makes my eyes look rounder, and I don't want that. I want them to kind of look more elongated. So this is already, by the way, like that spot, it's dry. The rinse off is just a little bit annoying for somebody who has like zero tolerance for raccoon eyes, but it's waterproof, it's great. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to, I think, scrape the bottom part of it basically on there and try and draw my typical line right on my lash line. Whoops, oops, oh well. So if I do kind of balance that on my cheek, it does give me a lot of stability. Oops, okay. Oh, there's a bit of a learning curve. She's making a mess. Maybe if I get it like right on the tip more than underneath, will that help? It's kind of funny because like the tip on this has no means of really absorbing product. It's just kind of like a non-porous surface that's literally just like scraping it. Okay, I'm getting the hang of it. Yeah. So it does depend like what part of the tool you put the eyeliner on. The way that I put it on the top in order to get the tight line, you kind of just have to put it on the whole tip in order to do like a wing. So just tippy tap. Try this one. I like that line. That's a good line. Very subtle. I also like the color. Even though it's brown, it's like a good, rich brown, you know? And then we could just flick a little bit. Yeah, a little bit of a flick there. Yeah. That I went a lot better. And I actually love the way that that looks. I feel like you can definitely tell the difference between my typical eyeliner, just with a brush and eyeshadow, like I usually use like a dark brown eyeshadow, and this because I put that tight line on. Like it's just such a more impactful look. So let me see if I can just take like a spoolie and scrape off that excess right there. Sorta. Meow. By the way, I've been loving the Beauty Pie brushes, the complexion brushes. They are really, really soft. Like they're so nice. The foundation brush, I think I need like 5 of them because I want to use one for blush, one for contour, one for foundation. Like they're just, I just keep reaching for them. So this is the concealer one. Actually, I mean, with the exception of just like a little bit of a hiccup right there in the beginning, getting my bearings, super easy, and there was none of like this business or this business, you know, and one dip did the job. You don't have to like keep dipping into a product or something. So yeah, and then this, I literally can't get it off. So that's good news for your eyeliner. So you guys know, I'm a huge fan of a tubing mascara formula. Tubing mascara, if you're brand new to my channel and brand new to the concept, basically instead of turning back into a liquid when you rinse it off or needing to use an eye makeup remover or something, it tubes when you hit it with warm water. Like the tubes loosen up and they just kind of fall off of your lashes and you can just wash them down the sink. You never have to rub your eyes, you never get raccoon eyes or anything like that, but it's pretty darn long wearing. So this is a very, very small brush, which I also appreciate. I think that anybody with kind of ergonomic challenges would find this very pleasing. Let me compare it to like the size, just for reference, of the Thrive. That is the difference in the brush sizes between like Thrive and this is, you know, a very typical mascara brush size, and the one from Guide Beauty. So I do really appreciate, because like, why do we need gigantic eyelash brushes? Like, why do we need that in a mascara? I've never really understood that. It makes them unwieldy. It's very strange. I digress. Let's do this. Okay, so the idea being that like you can do this number and not have to like even grasp it with your thumb. And it does work, but I find that if I want to get into like the roots, I do still want to grab it, which is possible. It has like a nice little, you know what I mean, thumb depression here. So it's not like it's prohibitive. It's not like you're not supposed to do that. I did kind of keep it out of the tube for a minute, so I think what was on the brush got a little stiff. But it is a pretty dry formula and it's a little on the heavy side. So if you are someone who finds tubing mascara formulas a little bit frustrating because it's hard to hold a curl with them, this is still going to be kind of a heavy formula that might irritate you. Because I do feel like compared to other tubing formulas, this weighs my lashes down. Like you can kind of watch them sink, and I don't have trouble holding a curl. But this is also really nice. So like doing your non-dominant side, it's really, really nice to be able to hold the wand, she says, trying to talk and do mascara at the same time. It's nice. That was completely user error and I'm sorry. Fortunately, with tubing mascaras, they are really, really easy to remove from the skin when you let them dry. So we will let that dry for a second. Super heavy formula. Like that is the only kind of drawback that I feel like to the tubing formula in this case. My lashes are weighing down and that is not an issue I typically have. So I'm gonna look kind of clockwork orangey for a second while that dries. Just bear with me. I will get it off of there, I promise. But in the meantime, let's go in with this brow gel in the shade medium. So this again is the packaging, and I do like how long the wand is. For example, compared to boy brow, right? We have a much longer wand, and a smaller brush. Very, very similar formula to the Boy Brow and like the Authored that I like very much. So the idea again being that you could just do it with like 2 fingers like that. I still find that that's not quite enough control for me. Like I wish that, this is so crazy, but like as a hairstylist, we have those shears that have like a swivel thumb on them so that you, when you pop it over like that, it's like super ergonomic and you can like keep your hand in a really comfortable position. I want this to swivel. Like it feels like this needs to like twist just a little bit, but we'll do it like this. Yeah, it's easier if I do that than this. So it's like upwards like that. But I still want to hold it with my thumb. But that's a very, very comfortable position if you are like arthritic or something like that. Like my hand is barely bent and I'm barely gripping anything. The one thing I noticed about this formula though is while it's quite long wearing and it's very pretty and has a lot of hold once it dries down, all of which I really appreciate, that and the coolness of the shade, which is very personal, obviously, but I do like that it's a good match for me. It takes a really long time to dry. I thought it wasn't going to dry at first. I was like, uh-oh, fatal flaw. And then, you know, I finally, like I've kind of dabbed it so that it would like not just come off on everything. But when it did finally dry, the hold was great. It was great. It was better than Boy Brow. It was better than Authored. Like it actually had some freeze to it, which I really like. So typically with a brow mousse like the Kosas or even the Glossier, I will fill in my brows first with a pencil and then go over it with a pomade just to like make sure I get the, you know, consistent fullness that I'm going for. But this is very much advertised as an all-in-one brow mousse. It's supposed to be able to fill and shape and hold them, and wow, does it fill them. Like there's a lot of pigment there, and I'm impressed with the amount of pigment in relation to how easy it is to put it on. Because a lot of times when you're working with something that's super pigmented, it kind of gets everywhere. And I'm not gonna say this doesn't, you know, that you couldn't accidentally get carried away, but especially with that like little grippy moment, it's pretty easy to control. And I mean, if you want a power brow, it's gonna give you a power brow. Let's go in with one more coat of the mascara and then we will try to get that off of my face. I also think it's a little bit more flexible of a formula. When I try and layer on top of a dried coat of Thrive, it has that kind of like stiff claw feeling to it. And this, while heavy, is still flexible, which is, it's interesting. It's kind of a new thing for me. And then one of those, and one of those. How's that for a completed look with the Guide Beauty? All right, let me move you guys out. We will take a look at the website, make sure that we hit all the details, and then I'm gonna give you guys my exhaustive thoughts on this new line. New to me, at least. All right, Guide Beauty can be found at guidebeauty.com. They have the Artistry Made Easy collection, which is what I bought, and that includes the eyeliner wand, an eyeliner with the color of your choice, a mascara, and a brow in the color of your choice. So that's $75, a $102 value. If you were to buy them alone, the eyeliner duo is $50. The brow moment, which I love, is $26. I want to know how much product you get in that though, because for comparison's sake, we got 5.5 grams in here for $26, and then like Glossier Boy Brow is 3.12 grams for $18. I will put the actual calculus on the screen because I cannot do it in my head, but yeah, just for comparison's sake. And then we have Lash Wrap, which I think is a fantastic name for a tubing mascara, which is $26. And in the mascara, you get 0.24 fluid ounces, whereas in the Thrive, which is $24, but you do usually have to pay shipping, you get 0.38 ounces, 10.7 grams, which is quite a lot more. 0.24 versus 0.38. And the Thrive also comes in brown. So it really comes down to whether or not that like ergonomic quality is worth it to you. Guide Beauty, about us. Help. At Guide Beauty, we know the most flattering makeup techniques are not always the easiest to apply. Guide Beauty was created by makeup artist and beauty educator Terry Bryant, who has worked with some top models and celebrities and developed industry-leading artistry and education programs for some of the biggest brands in cosmetics. Those years as an artist and educator revealed to Terry just how challenging applying makeup could be for her clients and friends. She always wanted them to go home confident in their ability to replicate the looks that she had created, but found that teaching the steps with standard tools and formulas was not always enough. A few years ago, having devoted her career to helping others learn to apply makeup with the same ease and confidence she had as a professional, Terry started to see changes in her own ability. So it was her. It is the creator of the brand. Techniques that had been second nature for her whole career were suddenly much more challenging. Ultimately, Terry was diagnosed with Parkinson's. Without the precision she always had as a professional makeup artist, Terry was experiencing firsthand the frustrations echoed by many of her clients and could now truly relate to the struggles so many of us share. She made it her mission to find a better way. Guide Beauty is an approach to makeup and how we apply it. I got distracted for a second thinking about how much I hate liquid eyeliner. That was where my brain just went. I was like, yep, strugs. We started by listening to makeup users who shared their most common challenges. We knew there had to be an easier way to apply makeup. So we took what we heard to our award-winning design team and ergonomic experts to create proprietary and innovative tools that literally guide your hand. We then worked with our chemists to introduce unique formulations that are as forgiving as they are luxurious and of course cruelty-free, vegan, and thoughtfully formulated without toxins and harsh ingredients. And then we made it all look beautiful. We obsessed over everything from how the tools fit in your hand to how the formulas glide over your skin. The result, a new breed of beauty products that puts an end to uneven eyeliner, mascara slip-ups, unless you're me, and blotchy brows. Guide Beauty offers a truly fresh approach to makeup that puts artistry in your hands. So they are claiming to be a clean beauty company. Says feeling good about the products we use matters. That's why Guide Beauty is 100% cruelty-free, vegan, and created with clean, good for you, and safe ingredients so we can be beautiful, healthy, and ethical all at the same time. Guide Beauty products are vegan certified. This means our formulas do not contain any animal ingredients or animal-derived ingredients. This includes, but is not limited to, honey, beeswax, lanolin, collagen, albumin, carmine, cholesterol, gelatin, and many others. And if, you're hearing those things and you're like, wow, how many products really have those things in them? A lot, especially brow products. Oh my God, they usually have beeswax in them to make them hold. And so like the fact that the hold on this is so good without beeswax is great. And carmine, I mean, they don't have any blushes or anything, but carmine can be so frustrating. I don't know if I'm like the only person this happens to, probably not, but like carmine in a blush will later in the day make it look like somebody took a little brush with red paint and went on my face. Just like little splotches. It drives me crazy and I don't know why people still put carmine in their products, but they do. Suffice to say they've tried to think of everything. Clean, cruelty-free, vegan, universal design. So, are y'all ready? I think I'm ready to jump into my final thoughts here on Guide Beauty. So, as to their claims are going to be around ergonomics and performance and of course having like a luxury feel. My guess would be her experience in this industry knew she was going to be swimming in an ocean of AliExpress gimmicks, right? Wish.com trying to tell you that this is going to be the new miracle to a cut crease or, a brow stencil or what have you, just things that are a dime a dozen on Amazon. And that they wanted to probably set themselves apart by making something that looks both luxurious and kind of like a magic wand from Harry Potter. Like there's definitely something magic wandy about this. I'm not going to go any further than that with this, but I'm thinking magic wand and that's cool with me. It's heavy. It really does feel luxurious, especially compared to a lot of the like gimmicky, like weird, they always say weird, this weird product, This has that ergonomic mindset behind it having to do with the comfort of your hand. And people who literally can't make certain positions with their hand or can't make them for very long without experiencing pain or can't control tremors and things like that. And for that, A+. So good. And for the formulas, A+. So good. This finally dried down. The tubing mascara is one of the heaviest that I have ever used. It's even, I would say, heavier than Thrive. So, if you've been afraid, definitely this should not be your first tubing mascara. But if you are a friend to the tubing mascara formula and you need something kind of ergonomic like that, this could be a phenomenal option for you. The brow, such a good formula, just so much hold, so much like power to my brows. I hope she comes out with more shades because right now there are only 3. And like I said, like a liquid or a cream eyeliner, I always shy away from them because I feel like they are so punishing. Like there's just no margin for error. And this you guys saw me screw up a couple of times, kind of getting my bearings on the product, and it still ended up looking as good as or better than some of the eyeliner looks that I do with my regular eyeshadows. And I'm very impressed with the tight line. I've had so many pencils and stuff, like when I tightline, I blink and it's just kind of like everywhere, or over the day it like embarrasses me and does that gross thing on my inner corners or whatever. And like this stays put, it won't come off my hand. And the application was just so easy. It was super, super, super easy. This little flexi tip is so nifty, and it does come with a few of them. So the eyeliner comes with, I think, 2 more replacements of the tip. So it's, you know, not meant to last you forever and ever and ever. That kind of brings me to my only drawback to this. And I'm sure you've been screaming it at the screen. Wow, that is a lot of packaging. That is a lot of plastic. It is so much plastic, and I get it. They wanted it to feel luxurious, and often luxury usually means heavy for some reason. But I think that they could have solved that, and maybe they will soon. I probably will get a DM from them after this being like, we're working on it. I don't doubt it at all, because, you know, trying to take all of those things into consideration at once, I'm sure that this was not lost on them, but replaceable cartridges would be incredible. This is a tool. I shouldn't have to replace a tool every time I replace my product. Does that make sense? Like, you run out of brow product all the time, and sure, you throw away your boy brow, or in my case, you put it in your TerraCycle box, but like, that is an astounding difference in bulk, okay? As to how much waste you're creating, and it just feels heartbreaking to me to throw this away when I'm done with it. It feels like I'm throwing away a gorgeous tool that I paid for, you know? So yeah, it's like all that really needs to happen is that this needs to pop out and be replaceable. Maybe wash the wand. You can wash the wand or replace the wand or whatever. Same goes for the mascara. Like, the whole thing just needs to have a replaceable inside cartridge, and we would be golden, okay? I think that the pricing is good for what it is. I mean, you are paying a little bit of a premium for it being luxurious and it being ergonomic and it being a really, really good product, you know? But like, I feel like you get all of those things. I'm never mad about paying for something if I'm getting what I'm paying for, and this does feel luxurious and it does do everything that it claims to do. I would just like to see them really complete the thought. It would be an absolutely perfect product to me if we never had to throw this part away, you know? And you don't have to with this. You just replace this tip. So like I said, I bet they're probably working on it. I can't be the first person to suggest this to them, but there's also, you know, bridging that of like, okay, well, how could we possibly have made something non-bulky that was supposed to like compensate for lack of motion and mobility in your hands? You know, it needs to have presence and weight to it. It needs to be kind of big so that it's easy to control. And I totally get that. So yeah, I think that they absolutely hit all the essential claims here. They really did almost everything right. I just really, really hope that we end up with replaceable components. So yeah, those are my thoughts, guys, on Guide Beauty. Very, very cool, and not a gimmick, honestly. I hope you guys enjoyed this, found it valuable. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, do give it a thumbs up. If you guys want to keep hanging out with me on this channel, hit the button down below and subscribe. I would love it if you did. Thank you so much for watching and for hanging out with me today. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.